Today, we're diving deep into some of the juiciest, darkest rumors swirling around Houston's hip-hop scene.
And a new twist in a high-profile lawsuit accuses rapper Jay-Z of raping a 13-year-old girl in 2000 alongside Sean Diddy Combs.
Rumors that tie together the late Pimp C, Beyoncé, Jay-Z, Diddy, and a whole lot more. This isn't your typical celebrity gossip. This goes way beneath the surface, so buckle up. And if you love the tea as much as I do, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's get right into it. So first up, let's talk about the infamous Pimp C tape. Back in the day, Houston's streets were buzzing with whispers about a secret recording. Now, if you were there back then, you'd know exactly who folks meant when they said, the one who was loose. Drum roll. Allegedly, Beyoncé. Now, this isn't just idle gossip. Pimp C was known to hang in studios with a camcorder in hand, always capturing moments, sometimes raw, sometimes private. He was a guy who lived and breathed music, but also had this street savvy about him. And from what people said, there was footage of a famous R&B queen and a guy getting money at the time. The mystery? Why was this tape never released? Was it fear, respect, or something more dangerous? Think about it. If that tape had ever leaked, TMZ would have paid a king's ransom, and the whole music world would have exploded. Whoever had that tape, they would have been untouchable. Seriously, what do you think that tape contained? Let me know in the comments. Do you think it was just wild partying or something that could change everything? Now, fast forward to today. Beyoncé's name keeps coming up in connection with Diddy's ongoing legal drama.
Federal prosecutors have invited forensic psychologist Dr. Dawn Hughes to testify in Diddy's upcoming lawsuit, and Diddy is scrambling. New lawsuits naming LeBron James, Jay-Z, and Beyoncé are popping up, while Diddy's legal team is trying to suppress any evidence that comes forward. This proves that Diddy is scared, and his lawyers will go to any length to get rid of incriminating material. Not only that, but Cassie's viral video could be the magic bullet that sends Diddy to jail. Let's break it down.
Here's a little bit more about what we know of Dr. Dawn Hughes. So it's in an exhibit that was filed in this case, and it's called Disclosure as to Expert Witness Dawn M. Hughes, PhD, ABPP. Dr. Hughes is a clinical psychologist and a board-certified forensic psychologist, and a leading expert on sexual abuse, interpersonal violence, victimization, and traumatic stress. The following includes the anticipated opinions the government expects Dr. Hughes will offer regarding sexual abuse and victim responses to sexual abuse.
Prosecutors aren't just focusing on Diddy. They're digging into everything. Freak-offs, girls being moved across borders, hush-hush deals, and guess who's allegedly in the middle of it all? Beyoncé. It's wild because we all know Beyoncé as the queen of control, the flawless performer, the business mogul. But what if behind the scenes, there's a darker story? Some whispers claim the prosecution plans to expose her very spicy and racy past. Everything from her early days at the prestigious Berklee College of Music to those exclusive parties we never knew about. Let's pause here for a second. Think about the juxtaposition. Someone who's marketed as this untouchable, pristine figure, allegedly connected to some of the darkest corners of the industry. How much of what we see is a carefully crafted image, and how much is hidden? What's your take on celebrity image versus reality? Drop your thoughts. The thing is, Beyoncé and Jay-Z have been close to Diddy for over 20 years. We're talking business partners, vacation buddies, family friends, the whole 9 yards. It seems almost impossible they wouldn't at least know about some of the sketchy things allegedly going down. This raises a huge question. Were they complicit? Or at least aware? Because in Hollywood and the music biz, secrets like these don't stay secret forever.
When I start talking about Jay-Z and Beyoncé, some toes will curl for sure.
Yo, how are we just now finding out that Uncle Ron passed away? How did this stay out of the media? And how the hell hasn't this been plastered all over TikTok?
Jay-Z and Puffy wanted Biggie killed. Bottom line.
What happens with exposures? You make yourself vulnerable to all kinds of attacks, seen and unseen. What happened to my friend when he passed away?
You know how these trials go. When one door opens, a floodgate of skeletons tumbles out. Imagine being in the courtroom hearing stories about intimate parties, underage freak-offs, and the transportation of women across borders. With Beyoncé's name coming up in the mix, it would be headline news that shakes the whole industry. For some context, Pimp C was part of UGK, one of the most iconic Southern hip-hop duos, alongside Bun B. They were signed in 1992, dropped classic albums, and even collaborated with Jay-Z on Big Pimpin', a song that hit number 18 on the Billboard Hot 100. But don't get it twisted, Pimp C and Jay-Z were not exactly besties. In fact, Pimp C was known for calling people out and never playing the industry game. There's a story where Jay-Z's label tried to hand UGK a $1 million check, and Pimp C refused it, saying they should give the money to Tupac's mom instead. Speaking of Tupac, why bring him up here? Tupac is a legendary figure with his own complicated history involving record labels, beefs, and industry politics. Jay-Z's connections to Tupac's legacy are well documented. Pimp C felt Jay-Z's camp didn't respect Tupac or the realness Tupac represented. That's why he flat out rejected Jay-Z's offer and suggested the money be given to Tupac's family instead. This tells us something deeper, that Pimp C had his own code, a loyalty to the realness of hip-hop and its legends. And it also tells us there was tension behind the scenes, even when artists seemed to be collaborating publicly. Now let's talk about Pimp C's tragic death.
At this hour, members of the hip-hop community are mourning the shocking death of well-known Port Arthur rapper Pimp C. Pimp C, who was born Chad Butler, was one half of the rap group UGK and was found dead this morning in a hotel room in Los Angeles. KPRC Local 2 reporter Mary Benton joins us now live in Southwest Houston with reaction. Mary?
In the building behind me on the 9th floor, they are paying tribute to Pimp C on a local radio station. He was a larger-than-life figure in Houston's rap community, and some say across the station, and the country rather, and they believe that he struck a nerve with his listeners because his rap's focused on real life.
On December 4th, 2007, Jay-Z's birthday, by the way, Pimp C was found dead in his hotel room. Officially, the cause was complications from lean and sleep apnea, but many in the hip-hop community have voiced skepticism. Too Short, a close friend, said he still hasn't been able to accept the circumstances. There were reports Pimp was found kneeling like he was praying, surrounded by blood, something that didn't add up. You have to wonder, was this really an accident? Or was it something more sinister? With all the industry politics and rivalries, it's hard not to speculate. What do you think happened? Was it foul play? Let me know in the comments below. Here's an interesting story. Bun B once shared that while they were in the studio with Beyoncé and Pimp C, Jay-Z called. When he found out Beyoncé was dressed spicy, he immediately kicked all the men out, especially Pimp C. Imagine that tension. Why such a reaction? Was Jay-Z protective? Or was there something else going on behind the scenes? Even Beyoncé's dad reportedly warned Pimp C to stay away from her. Now, some of this may sound like gossip, but there's more. Cassie's lawsuit against Diddy allegedly mentioned Beyoncé and Jay-Z a lot, though many pages were removed. Cassie claimed she witnessed Diddy physically strike her at a party, and Beyoncé was there, visibly upset. Reports say Beyoncé confronted Diddy, yelling that what he did was unacceptable. Then she also confronted Jay-Z for comforting Diddy, instead of standing up for what was right. And it wasn't just Cassie. Actress Jessica Alba was also reportedly at that party. After the incident, Cassie, Beyoncé, Jessica, and others left together, likely knowing Diddy's influence could be dangerous. Let me hit you with this. Jaguar Wright, an outspoken artist, claims Jay-Z and Beyoncé keep people against their will and put them on planes unconscious, allegedly transporting them for trafficking. She says hundreds of victims are ready to testify against them. That's heavy. This lines up disturbingly with what Diddy is facing now. So, putting it all together, Beyoncé's allegedly spicy past, Pimp C's outspoken nature, his mysterious death, the ongoing Diddy trial, and the rumors of trafficking, this all feels connected. Could Jay-Z have been involved in Pimp C's death? No proof yet, but the whispers are persistent. And here's the kicker. If the trial starts unraveling, exposing one secret could bring the whole house down. Beyoncé and Jay-Z's impeccable public image could be shattered. Are they just business moguls caught in a messy web? Or is there truth to these rumors? What do you think? Could this all blow open? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. All right, y'all, that's the deep dive. This story is wild, complicated, and full of unanswered questions. If Beyoncé and Jay-Z take the stand, their own skeletons may come tumbling out. Would you want to hear more about this? Hit that like button and subscribe for more tea and real talk. Until next time, stay woke and stay curious.